last week I told you that they had taken out roughly $62 billion from the markets around the time when the VP debate was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually caused the markets to go down. So the Democrats didn't have anything to brag about that week regarding the markets. This week, I was predicting that the Fed would do essentially nothing, and they did absolutely nothing. No quantitative easing or quantitative tightening was done in the last week, and the markets are, as I look at it right now, they're sitting up at near all-time highs. The Dow is threatening 42 or almost 43,000. They're about 200 points away from 43,000.
Right.
The Fed's action it does affect the stock market, and it appears to me that they are timing it to benefit Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is, of course, trying to get as close as he can to Elon Musk. Elon Musk made most of his billions when the Fed was throwing all those trillions of dollars into the stock market, and now that's his path to become a trillionaire himself. And then you have Thiel also picking the VP. And so as we get closer and closer to this election, look for the Fed to pick its moment to pull billions of dollars out of the stock market to cause it to go down around the time of the election, where people will be saying, well, maybe it's time to change because look at what the stock market is doing. And this
it's not just interest rates, in other words.
It's not just interest rates. The biggest tool that the Fed has right now is quantitative easing and quantitative tightening. And they're reaching a point now where the Republicans have only seen 5 years of quantitative easing. The Democrats have seen 12 years. The Republicans got 2/3 of the quantitative easing, and if they keep doing what they're doing, if Harris wins, we will reach a point where the Democrats have seen no quantitative easing. They've only seen quantitative tightening, meaning making the market go lower, and the Republicans would have seen all of the quantitative easing. And then so they get all the benefits, and then all of a sudden things start looking bad when Democrats are trying to get a second term because the Fed is manipulating the system, the entire system. Then you add that damage what the Supreme Court is doing. You add the damage that all of these major corporations who benefited from all this quantitative easing are now sending money to these Republicans who are trying to get elected, and you've got a corrupt system that we've never had before in history.
Yeah. Larry, people frequently call in and comment on that genius guy Larry from Los Angeles who knows everything about the math and the economy. In fact,
you mean there's another Larry calling in?
No, I'm talking about you. And although there is another Larry who calls in. And in fact, somebody in Chicago yesterday made that same comment to me. That Larry, he's brilliant. I really look forward to his calls. So in the past, you have very succinctly summarized the argument for electing Democrats to the House, the Senate, and the White House, putting Democrats in charge of the government. And, based on the history of Democrats versus Republicans economically, you want to give us that little summary once more?
Yes. If you're voting for a Republican, you're basically voting for a recession, because for the last 128 years now, every Republican that took office gave us a recession. Every Republican that took over from a Democratic president gave us a recession. Every Republican that took over from another Republican gave us a recession. This is the way it is. It is a 100% fact that when you vote for a Republican to take over from either a Democrat or Democratic president or a Republican president, you're voting for a recession. And you're voting for the Federal Reserve to step in and then start trying to manipulate the markets to try to make that Republican get a second term. And when they do that, eventually they destroy the economy, and then finally the people decide, well, maybe we should try the Democrats again. The Democratic presidents have not given us a recession in the last 44 years. Think about that. A 44-year-old man has never seen a Democratic president give us a recession.
Wow.
Republicans gave us 5.
And then what are the numbers with regard to jobs?
Now it's up to 51 million jobs for the Democratic presidents and 0 for the Republicans. And I think the Democrats should be drilling this into everybody's head from here till Election Day. Forget about all this garbage that Trump is doing. Forget about all the lies that he's telling. Let them do that. Democrats do facts and start talking about what we've actually done for the economy,
Right,
what we do to get jobs created.
And that's 51 million jobs versus 0 jobs since when?
Since Reagan became president.
Since 1981.
Yeah.
Amazing. Larry, thank you.
Well, actually, it's since the end of the Cold War, since the end of when the Soviets disappeared. That's when George H.W.
So really, since the since the first Bush administration, then.
Right.
Because Reagan did produce some jobs.
Reagan actually saw 16 million jobs created, which is what Biden has seen already.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go all the way back to Ronald Reagan, then you look at what is it, 20 or 24 years of Republicans versus 4 years of Joe Biden.
So Joe Biden himself, all alone, created more jobs than every Republican president since Ronald Reagan, including Reagan.
Since Reagan first became president. That's right.
Wow.
And so if you decide that you like what Republicans are doing, these are facts that are so fantastic that most people don't believe them. Mm-hmm. And then you get those facts versus the lies that nobody believes that the Republicans are telling.
There you go. Larry, thank you. I so value your contributions to this program. You educate me, and I really value that. Thank you, Larry. Great to hear from you.